Why, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. I don't know why I introduce you to the day of the week because I'm sure most of you know it is Wednesday. But anyhow, this is my motivational video for the week. I think I'm going to stick to Wednesdays to do these just because that's how I've always done it. And so I have a cool little, frame of mind or a cool little mindset that I came up with the other day while I was pulling weeds. I know you read the title and you're like, what in the world is this commentary going to be about? I'd rather pull weeds. Say what? But anyways, here's what this is about, okay? So a couple days ago, I was outside and I was doing some yard work that I needed to do because I let the weeds get out of control in my yard, and, enough said. So I had to wake up early and I had to get out there in the hot sun. I think it was like 98 degrees or whatever. I mean, it's pretty hot. It could be worse, but 98 still, it's 98 degrees. Ugh. Anyways, I was out in the yard. I was picking weeds. I was out there for more than 2.5 hours. The sun's beating me down. My back's starting to hurt just because I'm hunched over pulling the weeds. My hands were actually getting tired because these suckers were in the ground so bad. I had to like grip them so hard. So my freaking hands are tired right now. I mean, I just feel sad right now. But people were like, "Why do your hands hurt?" And I'm like, "Well, I was picking weeds." I know it sounds sad, but I will defend myself. Those were some hardcore weeds back there. So, don't be too hard on me. But anyways, I'm out here pulling weeds, and I was just, I got in the mode where I was like, man, this sucks. I would so rather be inside playing some League of Legends right now with my homies, which is you guys, of course. And but at the same time, I was like, I have to get this done. I just have to. I can't not do this. I need to get it done today. I'm not putting this off anymore. So I was trying to think of a way that I could make this less painful for myself. And as I was pulling weeds, I was just thinking about, how lucky I am to be pulling weeds. I know it sounds freaking weird, right? So as I'm pulling weeds, I just started thinking about all of the, millions of other people out in the world that probably at that point in time were in a much worse situation than myself. So even if they deserve to be in that situation. So for instance, there's, right now at this point in time, there's thousands of people in prison right now. And I'm sure that, I'm not saying they don't deserve to be in prison, but they're in prison right now staring at a concrete wall. And you know what? I'm pretty happy that I have the opportunity to pull weeds right now because I'd much rather be doing pulling weeds than be sitting in a concrete cell. Now, given I don't deserve to be sitting in a jail cell, but I was just thinking of situations like that where other people have it way worse than I do, and I'm just out picking weeds. There's situations where people, they're stranded somewhere or something happens, and and not that I'm saying it's good that this is happening to other people, but more so the fact that I'm thankful to be like, hey, you know what? At least I'm out picking weeds. I'm thankful to have this. There could be a million other really bad things that could be happening to me right now, and you know what? They're not. I'm just out here picking weeds, and I could be somewhere in the middle of the forest, and there could be a forest fire that breaks out, and then I could realize at that moment that I have like 60 seconds to live and then I'm gonna die. So when I'm like out here suffering pulling weeds and I think of, a circumstance like that, if I were in the burning forest and someone walked up to me and said, "Hey Flex, right now I'll teleport you to the front of your yard and you can pull weeds in the hot blazing sun and your back will hurt and your hands are hurt, but you can pull weeds or you can burn to death in the forest. Which would you choose?" And so as I'm sitting out here pulling weeds, I'm like, you know what? Pulling weeds doesn't sound too bad. And even when I put it in the circumstance of like comparing it to school, I could be right now, what if I'm in class right now taking a test for finance and it's extremely hard, I'm stressed out, I'm like, oh my God, please just let the pain end and let's finish this test, I hope I pass it, whatever. And it's like, would you rather be taking this finance test or you could be, out here pulling weeds? Actually, pulling weeds doesn't sound too bad. So my examples are probably a little ridiculous and poor, but I hope the concept that I was revolving this around is like there's a million other things that you could be doing or that could happen to you that would be 1,000 times worse than pulling weeds. And, I'm just using weeds as an analogy to, for doing something that we might not be too excited to take part in. But if you ever find yourself and you're doing something, like even if you're at work and you're like, God, this sucks, just think about all of the million other things or million plus other things that could happen to you at this point in time and say, you know what, is cleaning dishes right now really that bad compared to burning to death in a forest? No, it's not. So, anyways, I thought that was a cool little mindset that I just came up with, and after I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what, hell yes, I will pull weeds all day because someday I'm gonna be dead, and I don't want to die yet, so I don't mind pulling weeds right now. So. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little awkward. I hope that it makes sense to some extent. You don't just think I'm some crazy dude who likes pulling weeds in his front yard. Because I still would have rather played games, but I had to do what I had to do. So, anyways, guys, have an awesome Wednesday. As always, stay fly and stay fresh. I will catch you sometime soon. Peace.